We are talking about a huge stack of books that shaped my childhood. Today we're talking about the books that really formed you as a person and shaped your whole outlook on life. So, The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis are 7 stories about children, and there's a lot about growing up in here, and they're also allegorical, especially The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is an allegory. And so it showed me just the sacrifices that God made for me and how much he loves me, because we are all Edmund. My dad read these aloud to us when I was about 8 and my brother was about 6. And that was right before the first Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe movie came out. So a lot of people were talking about Narnia, and it was really exciting to get to see the movie after having read the book. That was probably the first time I read the book and then saw it come to life on screen. And that was really, really cool. It's called the Puffin in Bloom edition. And Anne of Green Gables is by L.M. Montgomery, in case you didn't know. And it's about a little redhead girl, and she's very feisty. And I think this is where I get a lot of my energy and enthusiasm for life. And every time I read it, I just think about how much I'm like Anne of Green Gables. So the next book is Matilda by Roald Dahl, and this is the guy who wrote the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and James and the Giant Peach and the BFG and all those. And this is a book about a bookworm. I really like books about bookworms, in case you couldn't tell yet. And you also find out that she has special powers because she's a genius and above average. Like, her brain can't fit inside her head, so like powers start coming out of her. It's really, really cool. Elsie Dinsmore series. And this is the A Life of Faith Elsie Dinsmore's. So there's the Elsie Dinsmore series, which is technically like kind of a grown-up series. It's written for adults, but this is a slightly abridged kids version. It's called A Life of Faith, and it condenses the series into 8 books, and I read these over and over and over and over. And all my friends read them because I recommended them, or they recommended them to me, either way. And this is probably, the second book in this series is probably the first time I ever cried in a book. I remember sitting in the corner of my room, reading the second book, and we were about to go somewhere, and I felt like I physically couldn't go wherever we were going because I was so emotionally traumatized by the second book and by the sadness of this little girl's life. She's very dedicated in her faith, and that was really inspiring to me as a 8 to 11-year-old. Most of these books I read when I was about 8 to 11. The Mysterious Benedict Society. I don't know if y'all can see those. The Mysterious Benedict Society is amazing. I didn't learn about these till I was about 12. The Mysterious Benedict Society, book 1, starts out with 4 children who are unusually gifted, and they end up getting to go save the world because there's a man who believes in them and who basically sponsors them and takes care of them and sends them on these missions. These were really engaging on every single page, and there's a bunch of riddles, and it's really fun to solve them as the characters solve them, and there's a lot of just challenges and things that they go through, and it makes you kind of want to be smarter. So I like these. Last 2 books are nonfiction, and these shaped me when I was about 11 years old and really got serious about my faith, and those are Crazy Love by Francis Chan, which is about the love between you and God and how much God loves you and how you can love him in return. And Radical by David Platt is also really good after Crazy Love. I recommend reading this after Crazy Love because Crazy Love is kind of the philosophy behind loving God, and Radical is very practical and shows you like, here's how you can love God in your modern culture. So those 2 together, they're very thin, but I highly recommend those, especially for any young teenagers who want to get serious about their faith. That is a lot of books but there's one more. There is the Mandy series by Lois Gladys Leopard, and I will insert a picture there. And this series has 40 books, and they are mysteries, and I read through all 40 of them because they were so stinking good, and I got so attached to the characters, and they have chocolate cake and coffee in every single book, and it is so good. I loved these books. So that's all I've got for today. Thank you for watching, and right down below you can comment what are your favorite childhood books. Bye.